Morning, everyone. This is my watch list for Monday, July 6th. All right, so what are our key levels on SPY today? New week, new levels. 740. This was the low from Thursday. This is going to be our very big demand. You guys see how many times we've reacted off that level, and we bounced again Thursday before the holiday weekend, right? We're gapping up slightly overnight. See, we're up nearly 0.5% on SPY. I like this for longs if we can reclaim the 750. Right, reclaim these highs from Thursday, 751. I like longs on SPY. I think we could get a push back into the 755, 756 area. The only place I would take this short is if we lose 740, right? So it's kind of far away. It may happen at some point this week, but below 740, I like shorts a lot. That'll push us back down to 732, 730, right? But for the long side, above 750, above 751, really, above that Thursday high, then I like longs on SPY. QQQ, same thing. We just bounced off the man, right? 705 is my big level. We went down there on Thursday, almost got there, and now we're bouncing, gapping up overnight, up 1.16% on the Qs, okay? So Qs also held demand. My big levels here, these are macro levels. I don't really want to trade SPY or QQQ until we break the range, right? SPY is in a range, Qs are in a range. If we break these range, then I'll trade SPY or QQQ. Otherwise, I don't want to trade this in the middle, okay? Below 705 is a short. If we reclaim 736, this was the gap fill level, then we're going to make a move back into the 745, okay? So that's where I would take longs on the Qs above 736, and I would take short below 705, okay? I'm likely going to focus on individual names for the start of the week, okay? Apple, this is the first name I'm watching today. We reclaimed my big 300, right? Psychological whole number. You could also draw a line here, the highs at 302, okay? So this 300 to 302 zone is where we can look for pullback longs on Apple. This was the strongest name on Thursday, very, very strong. Let's see what happens when Apple goes back to retest this pocket of demand. All right, the fact that we reclaim, this turns into a bullish chart for me. Obviously, we were watching a breakdown a couple weeks ago, but now that we've reclaimed, this is bullish, okay? So 300 to 302 is my demand. I'll be looking for buyers to come in there and take a bounce in that area, okay? AMD is in a range, okay? Above 550 is a long, below 500 is a short. Simple as that. Let's see what happens with this. Amazon, I like this over 250. This is kind of far away, but if you look at the daily chart, this looks really nice, right? If we reclaim 250, then this has room back into 256 and then 260. Meta is bullish as long as 580 holds, okay? That's all I'll say about this chart. Bullish as long as 580 holds. 580 is my big level. If we get below 580, then it's going to go back to 570, and that's the level that really has to hold. Otherwise, it's going to go back to 550, okay? Netflix, this has been beautiful. We took this swing back here where these arrows are. We got in here, and then we added here, and then it ripped, right? It ripped. This made good money. We made good money on the swing, and then we took a day trade on Thursday. We took a day trade over 76, and I talked about in the pre-market, if it breaks 76, it's going to 78. And look what it did, right? It made that move. This was a beautiful trade. Okay, this is bullish as long as 76 holds, okay? So we can actually look for a bounce off of the 76 level today, and that's something I'll be watching off the open. Netflix pulls back into 76. We can take longs for a bounce with the target back into 80, okay? PLTR. So PLTR, yes, it reclaimed 125. However, this may just be a bit of a grab, right? Convince people to go long over 125 to send it lower. Because when we look at the structure, the 4 hour, the daily, this is a bearish chart, right? We've been downtrending since October of 2025. PLTR has been in a downtrend, okay? And I'm not sure that the downtrend is done with yet. Just because we bounced off of 106 doesn't mean that this automatically is out of the downtrend, okay? It's in a downtrend until it's not, and this potentially was just a grab. Let's say it's a grab over 125, and then it can turn into a rug pull again if we lose 125. So I want to watch for signs of weakness on PLTR. Do we lose 128? This was the high from Wednesday and the low from Thursday. If we lose 128, This is going back to 125. And then if we lose 125, that's how I'll know for sure this is definitely a short. And short sellers like me are going to come back into this, and we're going to push this thing all the way back down to 120 or lower. Okay, so let's see what happens with this PLTR. This is a trade I'll be watching. I'm interested in this level. I'm interested to see what happens. Okay, Nvidia, we really have two options here. 192 is my short. If we get below 192, this is a short. If we get above 200, this is a long. Okay, as simple as that. Above 200, it's a long. Below 192, it's a short. Let's see what happens. Tesla had a terrible day. The delivery numbers came out. All right, investors not happy with what they saw. Minus 7.49% on the session on Thursday. All right, we lost my big level. 415 was the big level I liked for longs, and then we flushed back below. So what can we do now? We can look for shorts if we pop into 415. All right. Pop in a 415, I'll be looking for rejections because we lost that level. That support now is going to turn into supply, all right? So 415, pop and fade on Tesla, all right? So those are my main watches for this Monday, all right? Let's have a good day, and I'll see you guys on live.